Welcome to BCB Live. Yes, we are that safest station in the nation.
Oh, the moonwalking bear, right?
Welcome to BCB Live. Drive Safe Dave. I'm feeling it today. I'm just going to tell you right now, lottery winning numbers, Drive Safe. I still came to work.
You did.
$1.5 billion.
Yeah. One winner.
I think it's two.
Oh, two winners?
Yeah, you had one in North Carolina and one in Florida, I believe.
Oh, wow. You know what? Life-changing, right?
It is life-changing. Drive Safe Dave. You and I, we put some money together.
We did.
We
pulled.
also won, sir. Wasn't quite the same thing, though.
No, it was more closer to pennies. Closer to pennies.
$4.
Pennies from heaven, right?
You know what? I remember us getting together and doing this thing, and I said, man, I'm just telling you, 14's going to hit the Powerball. You get the rest of the numbers. Drive Safe, you got one of them for $4.
Hey, we'll take it.
It's
$4.
Yeah, it was
We
just.
spent 20 to get 4.
We spent 20 to get 4. You're not kidding on that, Drive Safe. Hey, you know what they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I don't know about that argument.
We were talking about that today, and it was a good argument. Drive Safe, first of all, it's a song, and I think it kind of speaks the truth. You know, it's talking to the heart, right? It's talking to who you are. What doesn't kill you, it just makes you stronger. Dave, what don't you like about that?
I have a problem with blanket statements because I don't think they always work in every argument. I feel like they don't. There are maybe many examples where that might not be the case. Let's say you're involved in a car wreck and you become a quadriplegic. I don't know that you're stronger than you were prior to the car wreck. You still survive, but you may not be stronger. I'm just saying there are many.
I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
I'm just telling you there are times
I'm not going. This is the dark side. When Drive Safe Dave, and those of you that have been watching this that know this guy, when he feels like he's going to challenge, he goes down a deep, dark hole.
Well, you know what? I think the arguments are there. I think you got to look at the big picture. There's exceptions to every rule and even to that rule.
There are exceptions. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little economy.
Oh, there you go.
Right? We're a lot of news going on. I know, Drive Safe.
Economic experts.
The only place the economy is really popping right now is up in Florida and North Carolina.
Exactly.
Maybe they should donate some of that money to the U.S. to reduce
They're going to. You know
from
that they're
something
going to
trillion to
0.35% taxes.
We're coming back in about 60 seconds with more BCB Live.
The safest station in the nation. We'll be right back.
What if it was different? We get a bad rap from those pesky lawyers. I'm David Dover. The Sledge. It ain't pretty when you get detained at the shipper or receiver for hours on end. How many holidays did you spend over the road away from the family? Call David Dover, the Sledgehammer, to report a driver that's done something right.
Welcome back to BCB Live, that safest station in the nation. Drive Safe Dave. It looked like you had a rough road there you were laying on that commercial. You know, what's up with the rough road sign?
Rough road is just a cautionary sign out there usually during construction in which the surface of the road has changed from where you were, and you got to sometimes be a little bit more careful. Slow down. Another one of those signs that may just indicate it's time to slow down and be a tad bit more careful running into that construction.
You know, I've heard it said, Drive Safe, a couple things like when you need fuel economy to go faster and when the roads seem rough to go a little faster as well. Any of those true or those just
I'm
maybe?
I'm going to go just the opposite, polar opposite of that a little bit. But I will tell you that as you look at fuel economy does not, when you push more wind out of the way, you don't get better fuel economy.
Interesting. Interesting right there. I'm not going to argue with you today over that, Drive Safe Dave. Hey, listen, we did see the U.S. credit card debt for the first time jump to what?
Over $1 trillion, 1.03 or 07 trillion dollars. You know, Rick, that's really weird because you know that the interest rates went up on these cards, right?
Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
so But what it does is speaks to the economy, right? Where people are having to go out and put some of their debt onto a card, even though it's going to cost them a little bit more money. I mean, to me, it's just indicative of what's going on right now in our market.
Yeah,
today.
there's no doubt. I mean, right now, let's face it, we have jobs being lost. We saw the, heck, you can look at today's headlines alone, Drive Safe, Dave. Right here, you have Proterra going down, right?
Yeah, Chapter 11. They filed Chapter 11 yesterday for protection, so that they can have the creditors come off of them a little bit.
Yeah, and even when you go back here and you look at this, the first story right here, I just grabbed some stories. That's all I did off of one website. Historic drop in China volumes curbs the parcel growth. Drive Safe, Dave. Who does that affect here in the States?
Right here, anytime we have those small parcels drop, less shipments, right? Less shipments for everybody, and also some of these LTL carriers that this may be somewhat indicative of some of the issues and problems that they're having in the market today.
Yeah, even when you think about the FedExes, the UPSs, that's what they're also delivering on that historic drop in China. Now, I will say this, what we don't know is how much of that product has already moved back to, say, Mexico, back somewhere to the United States. But Dave, we continue just to see a lot of bad things in here. Here you go, cash-starved Workhorse Group seeks to create new shares.
Right.
You know, back when the economy was different, you had a lot of people investing money into that economy, into that IP side, right? Into the trucks, the autonomous trucks, which, by the way, we just spoke about that last week or the week before, continue to go out of business as well.
Yeah, they're starting to see their financial pinch across the border and I think it has a lot to do with not only people trusting in the investment, but also some of the raw materials are way more expensive than what they built the business model out on. I mean, believe it or not, those batteries cost money, and you've got to have raw materials to build them, and it becomes a little bit more difficult over the long term.
You know, yesterday you and I were speaking about trailers. We were talking to somebody about the cost of trailers. We've also spoken to the truck manufacturers as well. Right. Those prices remain elevated, right?
Yep.
And when, we've talked a little bit as well on the pricing, where the rates are today. Dave, the rates today for a large company, medium-sized company, or for that independent contractor, they don't justify going out and buying that new tractor or trailer. There's no chance you can make that payment today if that's where the rates are. Yeah, the cost of those trucks and trailers continue to be 70% higher than they were before COVID. Rates aren't the same thing. And Dave, just like we talked about yesterday, when you have that right here, fuel continuing to rise,
yep.
How do you do it? What do you do?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, some of that is going to be reflective, and the demand is going to continue to drop. And once the demand continues to drop, maybe we'll see that follow the price points follow.
How painful? I mean, Dave, it's been painful right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we all know that. I mean, I'm talking to all of us. We have felt the pain. And Dave, we're not close yet. I mean, we still have to lose some more jobs. We still have to see trailers go down in price, which means maybe the trailer folks have to lay people off. The truck people may have to do the same thing because they must be buying parts a little higher than they were before. They have to wait for all of that to change because we, in our industry, we don't have the funds at the rates we've seen dropping down to go out and invest in new equipment today.
Not at the rates, not at the price points that we're at right now. You know, when we watch the Fed and we listen to the Fed, one of the things that they did say, Rick, that was very interesting is that they may not see a recession looming, but they do anticipate a larger job loss. They do anticipate as what they would consider an acceptable landing, soft landing for this economy right now to get that interest rate to come down a little bit, the inflation down to 2 points. They anticipate that soft landing is going to be another full point in the workforce.
Yeah, and Dave, to your point right there, you think about that, there's not a lot of additional building going on right now.
Agreed.
The building that already started, let me tell you, they're probably going to complete that aspect right there. But for people to go in there and just invest money into apartment complexes, into warehousing, Dave, at these interest rates, it's just not going to happen right now. No. So those folks, Dave, where are they going? Those people that are contractors, the construction workers, you know, there's not as many rough roads to fix right now.
Right.
What are they going to do? They're going to lose that job, right? I mean, it's just what has to happen.
Yeah, they're going to have to trim down and trim the fat a little bit. And I will tell you that You know, they all talk about how some of the housing market continues to stay in high demand, but I anticipate as we grow a point in the loss of jobs in our workforce out there, we're going to lose that demand as well, especially people moving around. So we have a rough road to go ahead. I mean, I don't see right now the economy anything hopeful in the only thing that I see that has been better is that the rate of inflation has reduced a little bit down to 3%. But I think that if they want to squeeze it even further, all the way down to 2%, we're going to continue to see these kinds of headlines that you put up here today and going into the next quarter. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And we have about a minute before we got to hop to the commercial, Dave. But let's just bring it back into trucking just for a second here. There are things that are out of your control. Inflation, right? Not a lot we can really do as an individual out there that can do that. The price of fuel, not a lot you can do. You still have to fuel up. You can go out there and try to pick it and do all you can, but they're not going to change the fuel because you're out there picketing. The one thing that is in our control, even in an environment like this, is safety.
100%.
It's how we drive that truck. And what we've got to stay focused on, all of you out there today, while you're having those struggles, listen, the only thing that can really make that worse is to get involved in an accident, is to not do that pre or post trip, because when that happens, that's going to affect you for the next 2 or 3, 4 years possibly.
Yeah, and not only that, it's going to be difficult the way people, you know, insurance companies look at you going forward,
yeah, for sure.
right? You can't. It's going to be hard to market yourself if you have those difficulties and those problems. And I really think what's great about our opportunity here, even though these other things that are out of our control, we talk about safety and we always bring it back to safety in our mindsets, but one thing that we can do is we can continue to increase our vigilance on safety so that we can curtail some of those dollars spent on the insurance.
Yep, no doubt about it. Hey, listen, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Dave, it's weather time. Let me guess, it's hot, but I got to hear you say it first. Break, coming back with a little weather.
Be right back.
All right, hey, check it out. Here we are live right here in Mansfield, Texas, our BCB Live studio. What I really love about this place right now are the endless opportunities, the endless ways that you can use this studio.
Hey, welcome back to the 2023 Pickle Parade.
BCB Live, we started out really focused on that transportation, that trucking only, talking about safety, making sure that we're giving that story about safety. We have the ability to do interviews, social media content, sales opportunities. What are you showcasing? What are you doing today that you've got to get that out? Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave. Continues to see a lot of weather, a lot of heat, a little bit of rain. Yeah. Not in Texas, but a little bit of rain.
Yeah, let's just talk about that let's just talk about that flow over the dome. It continues to be day after day, that moisture as it moves across the top, across that heat dome, because that natural flow of air that runs across that keeps it and allows this continue to happen. We would love to see that drift down here and push some of that low pressure into here and push that high pressure system out of here, but it's not going to do it. Look here, you're going to have some severe thunderstorms running right here, just above, right here around the I-70 corridor as it goes out to east. Listen, be careful out there because those storms are fast moving, fast blowing up, and they can create hail, they can create tornadoes, and they can create high shear winds. You've got to be careful, understand what you're in, understand where you're going. Make sure you're paying attention. Look at here. Continue. Look, Rick, 107 today. Are you excited about that today?
Pumped up, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, and by the way, that's what it's going to look like for the next 10 days.
Dave, I heard you use a term, and I love terms because I learn a lot from you all the time based on your terms. The heat dome, what does that refer to?
Heat dome is a high pressure system, okay, that sets over a location, and what it does is the heat becomes hot and gets heavier, and the air gets hot and heavier, so it pushes down and it compresses, and what it does is it doesn't allow the low pressure system to flow over, and you'll have a lot of those pure sunny days with no clouds. So you'll have all of this stuff in here, and it'll rest there, and it'll get hotter and hotter, and it just looks like a big You know that guy with the magnifying glass burning the ants?
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
yes.
well, guess what's happening to us
I feel
right
like
now?
that's what happens to me sometimes with you, Drive Safe Dave. I
Burning
feel like
you
you're just sitting
with a
there
little
burning
ant.
me.
You got
You're
a
burning
little-
me
Yeah.
to the heart. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, I appreciate it. Thanks for that. Listen, if you're new to the show, you want to fact check
check Drive.
somebody, what a great time to do a little fact checking right there.
Yeah, let's do it.
It is right there, Drive Safe. Always fact check.
Drive Safe Dave.
Drive Safe
'Cause he'll
Dave.
just make it.
How come, you look skinny, sir.
It's the white clothes. Wow. Wow.
No HR here. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Be safe.